At the top of 81, I want you to write down preventative maintenance. And the title says it all. You're trying to prevent major breakdowns. Why would you want to prevent major breakdowns? Because it saves you money and headache, okay? If you neglect things and they break, you wait till they break, first of all, it's going to cost more because the damage is going to be more intensive. And secondly, you may actually damage other things that aren't just the one item that's faulty, right? A third component that you could possibly talk about is, you've hopefully never experienced this, but if your furnace breaks down in -40, you don't have the time to go shop for the best deal out there. You're going to take the first person that can come out to your home and replace that furnace. You're going to be like, what is it, 6,000? You're the only one that I could get a hold of? Come and get my furnace replaced. And so you pay more than what you should sometimes because of that. Okay, one item here. I'm going to highlight the things that I talk about. The sump pump. I don't know if you know what a sump pump is. Not all houses have it. The newer ones have it. This is your sump pump. This is the pit, the sump tank, and there's a pump in there. And that pump, underneath your basement floor, there's probably 24 inches worth of gravel under your basement. And that's so that the water that runs down the basement walls can go under your house, and it runs into like a low spot where there's this tank. This tank has a bunch of pipes coming into it from all over, and the pump will empty that tank regularly. You know when you have those black hoses coming out of the houses, they sometimes put them right onto the sidewalk. You're not supposed to do that. I've seen it. That's a sump pump. That's water coming from under your house, which collects after rain and whatnot. You should test it every year. Test the pump every year, early spring, to make sure that thing works. Because if it doesn't work, guess what's going to happen to the water under your floor? It's going to rise, it's going to rise, it's going to rise, and eventually it's going to creep into your carpet. It's going to damage everything. There's going to be moisture, mold. You just don't want to deal with it. So test your sump pump on a regular basis. How do you test it? A couple of things. You can take a big bucket of water and dump it in, and it's going to turn on. Because once it gets a certain level of water, it's just going to turn on. It has a float, right? A float that if it goes high, then it empties it, then it comes back down. Or you can just if you have access to your sump pump or pit, you can go in there and just lift that float, lift it up. And if your pump goes on, you're doing good. Your pump works, okay? So you want to make sure, you want to take it up a notch. If you take it up a notch, then you're like me. I have a brand new pump sitting right beside it. So in the spring, if everything is frozen and you have this massive rain, right, and it fills up, you don't have the time to go to the store and, hey, does this one work? Does this one work? No, you want to have one ready to go. That's me. That's just a backup, okay? Let's move on from the sump pump because I will talk about it later. You should install window wells. Window wells are these things that are around your windows, and they protect water from just gushing right into your house should it ever rain a lot. And I don't know if you realize this, but if you could like zoom in to this window well, there's actually a drain pipe that goes straight down to the basement so the water can run under your basement. Okay? So I will say clean debris. Clean debris out of these things. So if the bottom of that window well has leaves or a bunch of garbage, make sure you clean that on a regular basis so that the water can actually drain away from the house. Or else you created a little pool next to your window, and guess what? If that fills up, it's going to actually come into your house. So you want to make sure you clean the window wells on a regular basis. Again, that's preventative maintenance. Not much longer, not much longer. I promise. Next here is the gutters or downspouts. So this is your downspouts right here. So I will just give you a little here. Ensure that downspouts are far away from building. You want at least 4 to 6 feet away from the building. You don't want this to be too short, because guess what's going to happen when this is too short? The water will run down and possibly make it to your house, like run towards your house. You want it to run away from the house, okay? So ensure that there's enough of a slope as well. That's another one. Slope away from building. You got to make sure you don't have anything obstructing the water flowing away from the building. So if you notice that there's like a cave in like this, you want to make sure you fill that up with soil and make sure that it's sloping away from the building. One last one, and then I'll let you go. Inspect your roof and your attic on a regular basis, okay? Replace broken or damaged shingles. I'm going to tell you this. You might not believe this, but after a strong storm, guys, I've had shingles missing from my roof. I always go up there twice a year. I go up there and I check. And I had this exact same thing. It had like flopped open like that. This shingle is missing. Look at those nails. You see those nails exposed there? Water can get in there over time. So I had to like patch it up. I didn't have to replace the entire roof. I just had to patch it up. So either call someone or you do it yourself. There's like asphalt that you can buy. You squirt it on there. You flip this back on there, and then it's nice and glued, preventing water from coming in. A telltale sign that your roof is starting to get old is when you have little corners like this pop up from your shingles, like your shingles are starting to curl up. That's a sign you should probably start looking at replacing it. Okay? Thank you. So you can call it replace shingles, or you can call it inspect roof on a regular basis. That would also be preventative maintenance. Okay? That's all I'm going to say for now.